Well, welcome to the channel. If you're watching this video, you're probably wondering, so how do I get into reading books? Or you're just watching because there's nothing else to watch. Either way, before that actually, I need to do something. Back. Ready now. So, how do you get into reading? So the first thing I would say is find your why.
Why? Why do
you want to start reading? Because you want to learn a specific subject, because you want to learn about a person, or just you're just interested in picking up a new hobby. Either way, I think knowing why you're starting to read is definitely the foundation, stepping stone to getting into reading. So best advice I can give for a beginner reader, when I say beginners, I mean people that literally went from school and then stopped, haven't read a book since high school, and then trying to get into actually reading. Pick a book that is about something that you're interested in, or a person that you find interesting or would like to know more about them. I know that's easier said than done, but hear me out. So if it's a person, actually, boom! So Matthew McConaughey, right? Let's say you like, an actor that you love to know more about their life. Find out if they have an autobiography. Now, I'm not saying that every person that you find interesting will have an autobiography, but if they do have one, I highly recommend picking it up, just because autobiographies most of the time tend to be an easier read. They're written by the person itself, which means that really they're not a writer, and that means that the book will be easier to read as an easy flow. Pick up a book that's mainstream in that subject. Now, why is that? So if a book is mainstream, they tend to be written quite simply. If it's, let's say, a subject of meditation, it's gonna be generalized to all types of meditation, what it means, etc. The great thing is, those books tend to be very comprehensible as well. Once you read that book, you go into reading, you're starting to read now, you finished one book, but maybe from that book that you read, you pick up a book that now is more focused towards that niche, right? I'll give you a bit of a story here. So I picked up a book, Denial of Death. Now, it sounded very fancy, and I thought to myself, ooh, that sounds, it sounds quite interesting, right? Denial of Death. God knows what that's about, right? To be fair, the reviews did say it was a complex book. It's very sort of thought-provoking, but it's very complex. And I thought to myself, well, I'm now 2 to 3 years into reading. I'm sure I can handle a average sized, 300-page book. Like, I'm sure that'll be fine. No. Yeah, there was a lot of things that I didn't understand. The words that were written in the book were very complex, and the subject was, again, very complex. It was a very niche subject. And
spell red?
Red? L-S-T-E-R.
I got a few things out of this book, but I want to say, if I read this book maybe 10 years down the line, I would probably understand way more of it than I do now. What I'm trying to say is, just be careful. Try to pick a book that's fairly simple to read at first, and then get into your harder books if you like the subject or the niche. Or maybe you're just smarter than me and you can comprehend everything. You don't have to finish a book. If you're halfway through the book and the book does not interest you in a way, you're starting to get bored, you're not comprehending it maybe, or if you're losing the excitement of reading the book, then just stop. You don't have to, trust me, your ego and my ego gets in the way. You don't have to finish a book. You just drop it. Because one, it will save you time, I promise you. Once you lose interest in a book, it will take you so long to read it. And two, you get demotivated from reading other books. If you're forcing yourself to read a book that doesn't interest you, once you do finish it, you probably lose interest in reading and you start reading less and less until you stop reading. Pick up a new book. Move on. Finish it later. Don't worry about it. So the first book I actually read out of high school, most people probably know this book. It's not the Bible, it does look like it though, doesn't it? It's close to the Bible. No, it's not. It's The Secret. The great thing about this book is it's very short. It's written so simply. You can see, I mean, there's like a paragraph is like a sentence. They're written so short. The book is actually quite small as well, and it's probably one of the most fundamental book you can read. If you don't know what to pick up, or if you don't know which book you want to read first, I would highly recommend The Secret. It ticks all the boxes that I went over in terms of tips. So it's a simple read, it's a very fundamental book and very generic. It covers a lot of topics in this book, and I think once you read the book, you can kind of pick a subject that goes into more detail about whatever is it that you're interested in. In the link below, I've actually put in like a list of my top 5 books for beginners that I would highly recommend you to read. Before I end it, I want to ask you guys in the comments below, let me know, what is your favorite book of all time? Any subject, fictional, non-fictional, let me know, what is your favorite book? I'm very interested to see what you guys are reading, and what's your, maybe you got some advice for me in terms of books that I could read. Thank you for sticking until the end, I do appreciate it. Well, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment below, let me know what you guys think of the video. I'll see you next week. Bye. Until something happened.
Okay.